Princeton traffic, helicopter 00 Hotel on the go, 28 right close traffic, Princeton. So I'm going to leave my power rods out. I'm going to start inching forward. Inching forward. I don't want to scrape the skid, so if I have to, I could add a little bit of power. I just push through ETL right there. Looking for 40 knots. There we are.
Pull it down a little bit on you.
Pull what down?
The cyclic.
Okay.
I try to have my students rest their arm. That's why I try to. So I'm going to try to hold it here for you.
Okay.
Or at least keep it in this spot.
Okay. I'm going to get the trim.
All right.
Little right pedal. Sky clear right. Princeton traffic, helicopter 00 Hotel, right crosswind 28 Princeton.
Yeah, we come back down to that max continuous power now.
About 23 and a quarter.
Just off.
Sky clear left and right.
All right.
Princeton traffic, helicopter 00 Hotel, right downwind 28 Princeton.
And I want you to teach me a steep approach to whatever spot you want to do.
Okay.
You can make the call.
Continue climbing through 800. So I'm going to be 70 knots at 1,000 feet, so I'm going to push forward. My power's where I want it. It's still climbing, so I can push forward to get that 70.
Let's shoot for 75 on downwind.
Okay.
75,000 feet.
75, 1,000 feet.
And about 10% your climb rate, where you want to start pitching for that airspeed you want to do. Even straight and level. If you want to shoot for 90 knots or 85, that's when you'll start pitching for that.
Okay.
For downwind, it's going to be 75. So
Then I'm beaming the numbers. I'm going to start my initial descent. My lights are out, gauges are green, green, green. Amps are good, feels good, cover till the yellow and full.
all right.
And then when you're going into a descent, what airspeed do you like to pick?
60 knots.
Okay, 60 knots.
Yep. Just like the POH. 60 knots for climbing descents, and then I shoot for 75,000 feet on the downwind.
Okay. Getting in trim and add some right pedal. Anytime you're taking power out. Great.
Push that airspeed.
Traffic, Cherokee is.
And then I'll level off 700-800 feet, between 6 and 8 on base.
12 miles out.
Because even though we want a nice stabilized descent, we want to be safe too, right?
Okay.
So I'll shoot for those fields to fly over. That way, if something happens, I have 2 points to hit.
Okay.
Because out here, you don't really have much, and that's why if you're higher, you can glide a little farther. But we're slow, so I shoot for those fields on a normal, unless
Okay.
we got to extend for something.
Princeton traffic, helicopter 00 Hotel, final 28 Princeton.
And no, that's just my preference. That's just what I like to do.
That sounds good to me.
Because right now we ended feel right. We can hit that spot. Won't be able, that'd be tight to hit that, but we can probably hit it now. We'd have somewhat of a tailwind, but
Okay.
all right. What spot we go for?
Going for the numbers.
All right.
All right.
What is a steep?
Steep is 15 degrees.
Okay. So technically, it's anything above a normal, right?
Okay.
So normal's 10 degrees. So basically, like 12 to 15 degrees.
Okay. I can start walking back my airspeed.
All right.
My sight picture comes in. Well, I have the airspeed. I can take more substantial amount of collective out.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have to bring it back before I get too low.
Good. Because at some point, right, it's just going to start dropping. The cyclic's going to control your rate of closure, how fast you're going to get there. In trim, a little more left pedal. Collective's going to control your angle. Anything we got to be cautious of when we're doing steeps?
We want our descent rate to be lower than 300 foot per minute.
Okay. Why is that?
Before we get less than ETL.
Okay.
So we don't get into settling of power.
Good. So that rumble's ETL. So if we hit that rumble, technically our descent rate doesn't matter. We still don't want a large descent rate, but we're going to hit the rumble, we're going to ride the rumble down. start lining up with that. Bring some power back in, eyes outside to the end of the runway. And we're going to want to pitch forward to level the ship as we're raising. You don't get that tail low attitude. Good.
Okay.
Right. Take some car feet off for you. We're still going to need a little bit.
Okay.
And we can come down a little lower if we're exceeding anything, but we're not.
Alright, light turkey to green. Yep, good. Harvey's is applied. Required. Alright, so here's my 24 inches again. Eyes outside, leave the car where it's at.
Okay.
Start engine forward. Likely. Power to stay up. Push to EPL. On pedals. Control my yaw.
You know why we stay low to the ground till 40, 45?
In case the engine quits.
Yeah, but there's a specific thing in the POH. The height velocity diagram.
Yeah.
So about 45 when we start climbing, we're gonna stay out of that height velocity diagram.
Yeah.
That's why we do that.
Good for 60, and I can come back up to my 5-minute rate. Take off.
All right.
Power setting, which is 24.25. Princeton traffic. Helicopter 00 tail on the upwind 28 Princeton. Right close traffic.
And I got carb heat, so that power is not our 5-minute power anymore.
Princeton traffic. Helicopter 00 tail. Right crosswind 28 Princeton.
But on climbs, we should only need the 23 inches. Go lower a little power. Good. All right. Yeah, so if we're climbing 500 foot per minute, 10%, 50 feet, at 950 we'll start pitching forward. And we should roughly start leveling off around 1,000. We'll take some power out.
Okay. Princeton traffic. 00 tail. Right downwind 28 Princeton. Took a little bunch of power out.
All right. You want to shoot another steep? You want to shoot an auto?
We can shoot an auto.
All right.
Do a straight in first.
Yep, we'll do a straight in. This one I'll let you do. You can do it normal.
Should we stay at 1,000?
With your hands.
Okay.
Yep, 1,075.
Victor Town, Cherokee, 1.5 out on the...
Don't count down.
Straight in, approach 29.
You can pick the spot. Just let me know.
Yeah, just to get, I mean, it's been months since I've done it, so
Yep.
I think it'd be good to gauge a spot, but...
So just as important as lowering that collective, right? Level attitude. Because if you drop the nose, then you start coming aft, right? And you're raising collective, it's because RPMs are coming up too. So it's going to throw you off a little bit. So
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 hotel, right base 28 Princeton.
level attitude, I feel, is just as important as lowering that collective.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to be chasing stuff at the beginning.
Yep.
And what's the spot we're going for?
Green, it was good. Copy to the on the wall.
All right.
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 hotel, final 28 Princeton.
Good. We'll roll off when the throttles, when collective's all the way down. Always want to be straight and level on these.
Yeah, we can go for the numbers.
All right. When you're ready, you can count me down.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. Down collective, right pedal.
Rolling off. Check that build. Good. So once we roll off, check that build. We know it's going to spike.
Okay.
Gotta watch that build again. Good. I start coming to the end of the runway. Lower that collective. Keep that airspeed. Keep that airspeed. Now start coming aft nice and easy. Don't. Good. A little harder. Start rolling on. Good.
Cool.
So when we get closer, don't start coming back.
Yeah.
Keep that airspeed. That's gonna help with that flare, so we don't sink through it.
Because if it's a real failure, you're gonna have nothing. If I just slowly flare through it and don't get a good flare, right?
Yep. Yeah. So the slower you are, you start sinking. And Frank Robbins has a video out, and he was going over like calculations. You can go on the go when you're ready.
Okay. Prince traffic. Helicopter 002 on the go. 28 right close traffic. Prince.
And he was talking about like your inertia and everything. And he was saying, I think it was 70 knots compared to like 50 or 40. You have double the inertia, double the energy in the blades. So at 70 knots, it's even better. Left pedal for trim. And watch our power. It's even better to have more airspeed than less, because you can play around with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you slowly bleed it off with that, you're losing that energy for no reason.
Yep.
Not turning it into a flare. Prince traffic, helicopter 002 right cross and 28 Princeton.
Good. And once we lower, roll up, check that build.
Yeah, right away.
Yep. This one, it's always going to build. The 44 by myself, checking the build, checking the RPMs, I'm just looking at it. I'm not actually raising collective, because that horn will come on if I'm by myself, because it's light.
Right. But that's why Prince traffic, helicopter 002 right downwind 28 Princeton. That's why you push forward to cut that build too, right?
I push forward to cut that build, because, so if it starts building
You're not going to
a
catch
lot,
it with the check if it's
collective's going to slow it.
Okay.
It might be too late if it starts increasing too much. So forward cyclic is going to actually change your whole dynamic, your whole angle, and it's gonna stop it instantly.
Okay.
That being said, you see it's going to throw you off, and you come aft again. So that's really if you need it.
Right. Okay.
Or if you have the collective and the RPMs are pretty good, and you could just lower a little bit, 1 or 2 degrees or RPM, or come aft and raise it with cyclic just a little bit.
Rather than messing with the collective.
Exactly, because you might start chasing it if you lower
Yeah,
or raise
I
it too
was
much.
kind of doing that a little bit. Or I was making those when it was low.
Yeah.
Even after the horn, I was making finer adjustments to the collective. But you think that could change the attitude of the nose too much, rather than just a little cyclic?
With the collective,
Yeah.
it shouldn't change the attitude. What it's going to do is you're going to start chasing RPMs.
Okay.
So I'm saying if RPMs are pretty good,
Yeah.
and say you just slowly start, you could pitch forward a little bit, and it's going to help drop it. You're going to get your airspeed if you're slow, and it's going to help drop it.
Princeton traffic, helicopter 0 Hotel, right base 28 Princeton. I'm just gonna get that airspeed back. Lose a little bit of altitude. Final clear. Princeton traffic, helicopter 0 Hotel, final 28 Princeton.
Alright, straight and level, bring a little power back in.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Down collective, right pedal.
Roll off, check the build. Good. Now I might have to lower it. Horn might come on. Good. Lower it, it'll come back. RPM, airspeed, eyes outside. Pitch forward for 65. Gonna lower that collective. Watch, it might come back.
Yeah, smaller adjustments.
Good. Now lower collective a little bit more. Now start coming aft nice and easy. A little harder, rolling on. Good. So even though we're rolling on, we can still complete that flare.
Yep.
We'll still come aft with that power on.
Okay. That was better, I think.
Yep, that was good. I would just check that build a little bit sooner,
Okay.
but that was good.
And then when I...
10 miles to the southwest, 10 miles to the northeast, inbound for landing, Princeton.
Princeton traffic, helicopter 0 Hotel. On the go 28, right close traffic, Princeton. Yeah, I guess after I check it, if I check it too much, when I when I lowered that again, just don't, smaller movements. Because that's when it was just like, we had more movement of RPM.
Yeah.
Even though it was intentional, I feel like it was more intentional the second one, but it was too much.
Yep, so just a little bit less, but it was still within the range, right? The horn doesn't mean it's bad, right? Because you can do it at 90. Max glide, we're at 75 knots, 90% RPM.
Yeah.
So say we want to do the max glide, which one do we get first? We got RPM first or airspeed first? Let's say RPM's already low, right? Horns on, so we get to 90% already, but we're at 65, and max glide 75. So we get to 90, we pitch forward. What's that going to do to the RPMs? We're going to raise them or drop them?
Gonna drop them.
Good. So it's going to go below 90, right?
Yeah.
So we want to get that airspeed first, and then we'll raise the collective and get that.
Makes sense. Princeton traffic helicopter 00 tow right downwind 28 Princeton. Yeah, because you're going to push it below 90.
Yep.
That could be quickly catastrophic.
Yep. Yeah, I don't want to find out what RPM that's going to actually. Watch our power. RPM is down a little bit.
We were 8 miles to the northeast, inbound for landing.
And once we do the entry, everything's good. I like to do a scan. RPM, airspeed, eyes outside. When I'm eyes outside, checking my spot, checking the trim strings.
Okay. I think that what I need the most work with is the flare. I would really want to get a good flare.
Okay.
Or get good at doing the flare. Princeton traffic helicopter 00 tow right down into Princeton.
I lowered that car halfway and went down to 0. I might be keeping it full this time.
Okay. Get it green. It was good. Princeton traffic helicopter 00 tow right base 28 Princeton.
Pedal for trim. Good.
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 tow final 28 Princeton.
Alright, once we enter, check that build.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Lower clock 2.
Roll off, check that build. So once we roll off, we'll check that build. Brilliant, back up. Good. RPM, airspeed as our side, so if we want to slow up a little bit, it's going to bring RPM back. Bring it right back to the green, there you go.
Okay.
We'll lower collect a little bit more, because they're going to drop. So eyes start coming into the runway, start coming after, nice and easy. Watch that build, nice and easy, a little harder, rolling on. Good, so we can roll on a little bit slower.
Okay.
That's where we get that, because we need that pedal to match that.
Yep. So on that, if you're going to check the collective, don't simultaneously go aft on the cyclic routes. That's where it's going to race like that.
So if you check collective up, it wants to bring RPM down, right? So then if you come aft, it could keep them there.
Okay.
So I'll check it. We can go on the ghost. Guy behind us.
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 tow on the go. 28 right close traffic, Princeton.
What I like to do is I like to have RPMs just a little bit below the green before I start my flare. Because when we come aft, we know they're going to rise, right?
Right.
So I'll try to bring them right back into that green. So if they're high, I'll raise collect a little bit, starting to drop, and it's okay if that horn comes on. Then I'm going to start coming aft a little bit, and it's going to start bringing them right into that green.
Okay.
And they don't have to stay in the green the whole glide, right? They can stay at 105, they can stay at 92. So I shoot for below the green for the glide too. That way it's under there.
Okay.
But
you have a much smaller chance of overspeeding if you're below.
yep.
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 Oh, right. Crosswind 28 Princeton.
And if you have airspeed and you have RPMs just below the green, you can be a little more aggressive compared to if they're at 105 already, right? Because then you want to, you got to drop them first, or you got to go right and nice and slow.
Okay. It's traffic helicopter 00 to right downwind 28 Princeton. That's a long run up for those Cirrus.
Yep. Don't be afraid. You can always extend your downwind to set yourself up for that spot, right?
Okay.
Because you want to be nice, level, airspeed, altitude is what you want.
Yeah, because with this exact pattern,
To shoot for 2.8, it's kind of pretty tight.
Close.
Yep. So we could always change the spot too.
Yeah. Prince traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right base 28 Princeton.
I'll make the call, or you can just make the call, just make simulate engine now, just so this guy knows.
Prince traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, final 28, simulated engine out, Princeton.
Yeah, we started at base. I think he's turning.
Oh, he's over there.
He's not turning toward us? I thought he was just...
I think he's entering the downwind.
Front Mike.
He's doing a clockwise 360 to come in.
Oh, I got him now, okay.
Alright, so let's slow down.
Alright. But he came from the south, why would he do it?
He's 8 miles, and they're working on the V1 Alpha.
Car beat is full up.
Papa on the left 45 for 20.
Bring a little power back in, straight and level. Remember, check that bill once we roll down, right?
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Down right aft, roll off, check the bill. There you go. Look at that, barely moved. Now just lower a little bit. Good. Watch that build. Good, RPM, airspeed, eyes outside. Airspeed's good, RPM's just slow, you can lower it. In trim, we're gonna go long. That's okay, we're gonna work on the flare. So now eyes start coming into the runway. Start coming down nice and easy. All right, 2-step. Nice and easy, a little bit harder, a little harder, a little harder, rolling on. Good. So remember, start that baby flare, then it's gonna get more aggressive as we go.
Yeah.
Good, car beat's down, you can go on the go.
Alright. Prince traffic helicopter 00 on the go. 28 very close traffic, Princeton.
So once we checked that bill, right, it kind of stayed right where it was.
Yeah.
This one creeps up a lot, like fast, RPM. Got that low inertia. Easy to lose, but easy to get back.
Radio check, please.
Clear.
Yeah, top 2 radio check, please.
Clear.
Clear 20, Papa.
Prince traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right crosswind 28 Princeton. The last time he did a comp 2 go check.
In this one?
I don't know, yeah. 44. Go
Usually. I like to do it, but some mornings there's no one here, so I won't do it.
Hit that area.
I'm lucky if I get a COM 1 check.
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right downwind 28 Princeton. Alright, so he's landing right now on the numbers.
Alright.
Gotta do a 180.
Let's do it on the next one.
Okay.
That way we'll extend the upwind a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Carpy coming out.
Princeton traffic 0347 Alpha departing runway 28 with a departure to the north, leaving the pattern. Good traffic, we're probably clear to Princeton. And white center 3 mile final to the 3 miles to the north, south to be or Alpha, Princeton, bridge only.
Altitude, airspeed, start my initial sound, light track gauge, green, that's good, cover to the full. Alright, so we got someone coming in from the north, second is leaving, car is clear. Traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right base 28 Princeton.
Radio check your 5x5.
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, final 28 Princeton, simulated engine out.
And white center 1 mile north of the field, be or Alpha going in Princeton.
Alright, Carpy's full up.
Princeton traffic 0347 Alpha. Currently northwest of the field side, 2 miles through.
Alright, bring some power back, straight and level. Good.
Alright. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
And right up, roll off, check the middle. Good. So we're a little fast, right?
Yeah.
So we slow up just a little bit. If we do it gradual, it's not going to spike them.
Okay.
If we do it fast, it's going to bring them up a little bit. So now we got to lower collective a little bit. Good. RPM, airspeed, eyes outside, everything's looking good. We're going to keep the 65. Good. We can lower collective a little bit. Good. Now start coming into that flare nice and easy. Watch that build. So we can check up a little bit, and that's going to help do that. Now coming after a little harder. Good. So see how RPM's increased a little bit?
Yeah.
So what I did was we, instead of coming after even more, check the collective up a little bit.
Right.
And start to bring them down. That way we could come after a little harder with that flare.
Okay, cool.
So we could change that RPM pretty quickly.
Yeah. Helicopter's on to go to 28 Princeton.
So when we do the 180, we'll extend the upwind, we'll climb up, then we'll just do a tight turn.
Okay.
When we enter, we're going to enter a BMUS, right?
Uh-huh.
Enter just like a normal auto. Everything become established, right?
Yep.
Then we're going to start a 90-degree turn.
Yep.
If we don't drop the nose, then essentially, if we do it nice and smooth,
Yep.
level attitude, RPM shouldn't build that much. But
Okay.
they will want to build in the turn and decrease in the turn. So you might have to check up a little bit in the turn, lower coming out of the turn because they're going to want to drop.
Okay.
They're pulling less G's, so. But if we do it nice and smooth, then they shouldn't really want to decrease that much. And obviously the wind's going to control how but I treat it as two 90-degree turns.
Right.
Enter, get established, start your turn. 90 degrees. If you have to turn back out, you have to extend a little more.
Yep.
And then you can start your turn coming in.
Traffic 7246 will be parting
Princeton traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right crosswind 28 Princeton. Just keep bringing it around.
Yep, just keep bringing it around, keep it nice and tight. That guy's gonna coming up to the park. If he expedites it, we'll shoot from midfield.
Okay.
Car piece pull up. Princeton helicopters right downwind 28. We're going to be simulating engine out from the downwind. We've got the departing aircraft in sight. Okay, alright. Watch that wind's pushing us in a little bit, right?
Yep.
And you can straighten out a little bit now. Car piece full up.
Midfield, you want to enter?
Yep, so we should enter.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Down right aft. Roll off. Check the build. Start the turn 9 degrees. Watch that build in the turn. Good. Now we're going to drop a little bit, lower collect a little bit. Watch our airspeed. Gonna come back. Watch that build. Good. Lower collective. Left pedal. Good, now coming into the flare nice and easy. A little harder, rolling on. Good. Cool. So we'll come to a full stop and then we'll take off again.
Okay.
The RPM's got low, which is okay, but we slowed up to like 45 knots.
Yep.
So we could extend it, right? We want to keep it a little more.
Okay.
The traffic at 325 for uniforms about 7 miles to the northeast. We're going to fly with the field at 2000 for 28 Princeton.
British traffic up to 00 Hotel on a go 28 right close traffic Princeton. Yeah, so just keep.
So we'll enter a beam it. Once we're a beam it, we'll enter.
Okay.
So I'd like to count down a little early so that way when I get to 1 for entry, we're right to beam it.
Okay.
When we started to turn, RPMs were good. They didn't really climb up because we checked it. We did nice level attitude. We got a little slow. We're coming back in that turn, and that's okay as long as we got altitude if that's what we want to do.
Okay.
So if we're going to slow up, I would lower collective a little more so that way when we get that airspeed back, RPMs are kind of higher because they're going to drop.
Okay.
What we don't want is low RPM with low
Airspeed.
Yep.
So if you wanted to shorten it up, you could slow down. You just have to.
You could slow down because
That'll make you
essentially,
drop faster, right?
if it comes down, if RPMs come down, we'll have to lower that collective, right? But we just want to make sure that we're aware of that.
Okay.
If that's what it's going to happen, that's what we want it to do.
Okay. Yeah, not by accident.
Yep. You can start your turn all the way around.
British traffic helicopter 00 Hotel right crosswind 28 Princeton. I guess it's just going to be like same as this turn right here, just watching the horizon and the compass.
Yep.
No difference in that than in an auto turn, right?
Nope, that's it. Nice level attitude.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be Spartan, so we might go to 2.8. We'll see. Princeton helicopters right downwind 28 Princeton.
Yeah, I think if we didn't slow up, we would have been on the south side of the runway. I think we would have shot it.
No, we could turn back out, or we could change the turns.
Yeah.
Because if we're turning into the wind with slow airspeed, right, we're really not going to have any ground speed at all.
Yeah.
Princeton helicopters right downwind 28, simulate engine out. Princeton.
All right. Just
Going for midfield?
Yeah.
All right.
So, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Down right aft, roll off, check the build. Good, start your turn, see what you gotta do. Watch that build. Watch that build. We're gonna be a little long, so just straighten out a little bit. Lower collective. We can go along the runway, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be a little long this time. Watch that build. Good. Not too long.
Traffic, Skyline 20, proper departing center to the north.
Good. Start coming eyes outside. Got over that runway. A little harder. A little harder. Good. I don't want to get that tail low with. Good. Settle it down. Good. I just didn't want to get a tail low in that flare with the lights right there.
Yeah.
Good. We're not as long as I thought we were going to go. When you're ready, we can do it again.
All right.
Now, when you start that 90, you could always turn back out and go more downwind.
Yeah.
You could change that. You could do a 270.
Right.
Helicopter on to go 28 Princeton.
Or last clear.
So that wind's pushing us because it's more northerly.
Yeah.
Watch our power.
2000, we're going to set it for the 45 from left down to 28 Princeton.
So if we know it's pushing us, maybe we could even extend a little bit more. Just do a little less of a turn.
Okay.
But it really all depends. You've got to that spot. The only thing we got to watch is the windsock there. If we go down more south,
Okay.
coming back,
Yeah.
to go back to the runway is that windsock. That's the only issue.
And we want to be. We want to get parallel with the runway and with the in the flare, right? Or else. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't
So
wanna
we
end
start
up
to
in that
when we
dip.
start to flare, we want to. Yep. So we want to be skids level where we're going.
Yeah.
So you can start your turn. Some guy over the field. We'll see where he is.
All right, get this call. British traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right downwind to Princeton.
Where's that guy over the field?
What did he call?
I didn't hear his whole thing, but he was over the field. 2000. There he is down there. There'll be no factor for us. Car feed is full up. Straight and level. So we don't want to be climbing or descending when we enter.
Yep.
Quick channel clearance, left base.
Princeton helicopter's right down, 128, simulate engine out, Princeton.
Clear down track. Spacecraft on here, turn left, cross left. Princeton traffic, for your form, south 45, left downwind, 28 Princeton.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1.
Right up, go off, check the build. Good, start turn. Just a nice turn. Let's see what we gotta do.
Down there, final. Clear down track.
We can hold it right here.
Now,
Lower that collective a little bit.
To the east, clear down.
Good, now they're gonna start to spike back up. Good. Good, lower that collective just a little bit. Over that runway. Start coming aft.
The traffic, 5 for your form.
A little harder, start rolling on. Good, so we'll roll on a little sooner in the flare, because remember we're bringing the power back, right?
Yeah.
So if we roll on when we start coming into the beginning of that flare, when we start getting harder and harder, we'll know if that power's coming back, realizing at the end, right? So we could know. So 48 minutes, 49, we can do another one, we can do some hover auto, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's do one more.
One more? All right.
Nice work. Great. British traffic helicopter 00 Hotel on the go 28 very close traffic, Princeton.
And we'll just come to a hover with full stop, because when you complete that, right, if you keep taxiing down the runway, you're going to extend that, right? So once we do that flare, bring the power back, come to a full stop on with the hover.
I think it's just getting into the habit of when I bring that collective back,
Yeah.
leveling the ship, and then a little out cycle if I need to when it's done to stop from moving forward.
Yep.
Because those are lazy, right? When we just keep going forward.
Yep, and then plus we're going to take off, so we're starting to divert attention to here, right?
Yep.
There could be a hazard, so.
Yeah, and if you need to get good at hitting the spot, but
traffic.
stopping also.
For full stop.
Yep, that was good though.
Could be the difference between like getting the 3 line or not, you know.
Yep.
I think I was more conscious about not losing that airspeed on that one.
That was good.
We didn't get too slow.
So we could lose the airspeed if that's what we want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Prince traffic helicopter 00 Hotel, right cross the 2 Princeton.
We could come down in an auto with no airspeed,
Yeah.
but we don't want to do that if we don't mean to do that, right?
Yeah.
All right, where's this guy? He's on final.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
We'll shoot for 2A. Watch our power.
Okay.
Now, wind's always going to determine how hard that turn's going to be.
Yeah.
Princeton helicopters right downwind. 2A will be simulated engine out, Princeton.
Are we cool?
All right.
Yeah, and the other ones, I think we were getting pushed so much and like instinctively going after the cycle to not overshoot it. You know?
Yep. Yep, but we can extend, right?
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Down right up, roll off, check the bill. Good. Start the turn, keep eyes on that spot the whole time. Lower that collective, keep that airspeed. So let's extend right here. Let's go forward a little bit. Lower the collective a little more.
Princeton traffic, 5 from clear of 2A Princeton.
Watch that build. Good. Start straightening out. Good, lower that collective, now it's coming out. A little more. Now rolling on. Good, and we can still, there you go. See how we rolled on, but we're still slowing the ship.
Yep.
Good.
Oh.
We're a little long, but we can work with those.
Okay.
That was good.
Hey, air taxi over and then go do a couple upper autos?
Yeah.
Okay. It's traffic here. Helicopter 00 Hotel, air taxi down to Charlie.
Good, I go top of the windsock.
Okay.
Watch that thing over there, so we'll go a little farther. We can come a little higher next time.
Okay.
And you can count me down.
For the quick stop?
Yep.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Good. We didn't balloon up. We didn't descend. Riding that rumble down. Good.
Quick stops are fun.
Yep, I like that. So, you know, you don't want to balloon up. I was always taught not to balloon up.
Yeah.
Bob, when I went for my checkout into 44, he showed me one where you want to balloon up. Like say if someone took off in front of you or something, you had to climb.
Right.
So his quick stop was coming aft, but purposely climbing. So it really all depends on the scenario. Teaching it, I teach the flat part, but
Oh, they're stupid cones.
yeah, that's right. Down, watch our power.
Yeah, I could see how that could make sense.
Yep.
Right.
Because realistically, you know, you might be low to the ground when you're taking off, where if you actually did that, you'd hit the tail.
Right.
So you need to balloon up. Pull a little carpet, keep it out of the yellow.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have, I need to remember translating tendency.
Alright.
I'm gonna have to put so much left the cycle can put in once that power comes out.
So just think about staying over this spot.
Okay.
If you want to stay over this spot, you're going to add that regardless, right?
Yep. Alright, ready?
Position that hand.
Yep.
You can count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Good.
It's a little bit better than the other day.
Yeah, that was good. Heading barely changed, maybe a degree or two.
Alright, pedals are neutral. Bar process, checking it out. You cheat with the pedals on the lift up, you just automatically put in a little left pedal.
Yep, because I already know.
Yeah.
So always, as I increase, I always start adding a little left. I don't wait for it to come out. If I put too much in, then I'll fix it, but.
Right. That makes sense. Good?
Yep.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1.
So we just got to add a little bit of right pedal, a little more right. We brought it back. We want to go left a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
Center that ship. There you go. Go. We came aft a little bit, so we don't want any aft. If anything, we want forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's fogging up a little bit. That's good. I'll turn it off.
Alright.
You can pick up.
Alright, great position my hand.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Good. A little bit more right pedal,
Yeah.
but nice smooth landing. And you got more collective to go up too.
Okay.
Don't be afraid, you can use it all.
Okay. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Or you're not popping the collector, it's a gradual pull all the way to the top, right?
Yep, so I'll roll off, right pedal. Aircraft's gonna settle, just nice, smooth coming up. Once you start to feel it settle, you're gonna raise it all the way up to cushion that landing.
Okay.
And the correlator's not gonna do anything because you have in that spring detent.
Yep.
Just watch those cracks.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1.
We bounced a little bit. That was alright. Well, still wasn't that hard though landing. So just match that pedal. We'll try to look out the corner of that building.
Okay.
You want to just get nice, smooth, all the way up.
Okay.
Yep, reposition at hand.
3, 2, 1.
We didn't roll it down quick enough. We want to make sure it goes all the way down.
Okay.
But they're still good. They're not hard landings.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1.
I think you're raising a little bit when we roll off.
Okay.
Much because the way your hand is.
Okay.
Because it's bumping us a little bit.
Right.
And then we're waiting, and that's. So try to hold that collective right where it is when you roll off.
Okay.
We're just looking out at the distance, right? Don't worry about anything that's going on in here. I'll tell you what, give me a little bit of side step, yeah. That's good. Yep, and we're trying to match that collective, right? Let's do one more. I don't want to
Yep.
overkill it because the first couple were good. If you do too many, you start to overthink it.
Yeah.
So. Eyes outside. Just hold the hover for a minute.
Okay.
Reposition that hand. We're gonna roll off right pedal. Aircraft's gonna settle, and we're gonna raise collective all the way up to cushion that landing. Right?
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
So let it settle a little bit.
Before I pull?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're pulling aft a little bit too,
Okay.
because we're touching a little bit of
It was more
back aft
pronounced on
skins
that
first.
one.
But I don't want to beat these up too much. We'll work on them next time too.
Okay, we can take it easy.
All right?
Coast by right?
Clear right.
My last pedal turn out here. Last pedal turn moved about 50 feet by just turning around. Clear the left.
And we'll see where these people are before we do anything.
Okay.
And I think they parked in our spot.